my husband is Tom. Welcome to Life 4.0, where we share our experiences of living aboard Sea Rose, our 44-foot sailboat, while we travel together to new and exciting destinations. What's with the name 4.0, you ask? Well, we both enjoyed careers in the software industry, so thinking about life in iterations or phases, well, versions if you will, came natural to us.
We are anchored in Assos.
Life 4.0 finds us taking an early retirement so we can travel and explore while we have the health and energy to do this in the way that we want. We spend about half of each year on our sailboat and the rest enjoying land-based living and exploration with a home base in the northeast of the United States. We hope you enjoy our Life 4.0 as you think about shaping your own. There is only one go at this thing called life. Make the most of it.
We continued our venture of discovery in the Greek Ionian Sea on the oddly shaped island of Kefalonia, starting with the southern village of Spartia and its neighbor Kefalonia, with its ultra-clear water, in company with many little creatures of the sea. Our newfound friend Theo tagged along, regaling us with his knowledge of the Japanese delicacy uni, harvested from the meat inside the dark purple, spiny sea urchin. The anchorage at Spartia was backdropped by a tall sandstone cliff, protecting a small collection of local fishing boats.
It's alright, I can make it home by myself. I've got your words inside my mind. Nobody told me it was gonna turn out like.
Lucky for me, a beautiful terraced restaurant rose up from the shoreline with long views over the water, the perfect spot to celebrate Karen's birthday, keeping me out of the doghouse for one more year. We pressed on around the corner and up the east coast to the quiet town of Poros, where the unbridled innocence of two young boys exploring the shoreline encouraged us to slow down and savor the moment.
That's alright, that's alright. What do you want from me? Ooh, what do you want from me? Ooh, you know it's been tough for me. It's like I'm in agony every time I see you. I wonder what's left of me.
Kind of the word from the restaurant waitress that there's some good beaches up ahead here along the eastern side of Kefalonia. We've got our buddy boat over here, Theo on board Paloma. We met him a couple days ago, and he's going to join us up here. It's a super calm day here. We had calm weather when we arrived yesterday, and then a breeze came up, coming kind of out of the northwest down through this slot. Not a big breeze, but actually kind of refreshing. And then overnight, we had a steady breeze coming down through that cut, blowing offshore, right into where we were anchored. So that gave us a nice cooling breeze overnight, so we weren't sweating it in the bunk trying to get some sleep. So great stop in Kefalonia, and we're looking forward to exploring more on the east side here. Typical weather pattern here is like calm like this in the morning, and then when you look at the forecast usually around 3 p.m., the wind comes up either out of the west or northwest and may blow again at 6 p.m. and start to die down at 9 p.m. and after when it gets dark out. So it seems to be the pattern repeating itself here, although these days are even calmer, I think, than normal. We've got some weather coming up in a couple days, so we're trying to figure out how we can see the sights we want to see in Kefalonia before that weather comes in a couple days. Nothing really too severe, but 20 knots or so, and there's some sights we want to see on the western side of the island, which is the island that's on a windward sort of side that's exposed. So trying to get over to see those. before the high winds come. And just a very delightful time here in the Ionian.
Before settling down at an anchorage in Samos for the night, we swam upon a very unusual large shell that looked like it had been placed there out of context. I later learned that it is called an Atlantic Triton, and you can see its hefty girth as Theo tries to get his hand to grip around it.
Theo's gonna go say hi to the goats. His grandfather used to be a goat herder, his mom's dad. And so he was really hoping we could see goats here. And then all of a sudden I looked over on the shore and lo and behold there were goats. Oh, oh, that's so sweet.
At the northern tip, the harbor of Fiscardo was begging us to come ashore as the main port of call on the island.
We just got tied up in the town of Fiscardo. Got our stern lines all secured and helped Theo over here on his boat get anchored. He's got a couple stern lines ashore, so we're all set there. And we're looking forward to getting ashore here. It's supposed to be a nice town, nice shops and restaurants and such. And where we're located here, we're along sort of the northern side of the harbor, and a lot of boats come in here, we understand, over nighttime or throughout the day, and at nighttime it's pretty full. Right now there's quite a bit of space still available. Big sailboat offshore there and a couple yachts. But cool little spot on the very northern part of Kefalonia. And there are some walking paths through the trees over here, and apparently they go down to a lighthouse, an old remains of an old lighthouse and a more modern lighthouse at the point of land there. And that area in the distance there is the island of Ithaca, or Itaki, depending on where you're from. Really looking forward to exploring Fiscardo and seeing what it's got. Our plans here are to potentially use this as a jumping off point to go around to the western part of the island for a day to Assos, and perhaps stay there overnight, depending on the wind conditions, and then come back to this area on Tuesday, because there's supposed to be developing winds Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. So that's the plan. Lovely little village here. So one of the challenges we were told here is that because there's so many boats that come and go stern to the shore over here, is that inevitably you get anchors crossed. Somebody comes in and drops their anchor. Like you can see our anchor here going straight out off our bow, but somebody might come in and try to come into this spot here, for instance, and anchor just across our anchor. And if they're the next one to leave, that's not a problem. They just pull their anchor up. If we were to leave, then we would end up dislodging their anchor and making it rather pleasant for everybody. So something that we'll have to keep an eye on. And if it were a normal summer with normal traffic of many boats coming in, that would probably be a bigger issue, but not quite as bad during COVID-19. But we were told that this anchorage does get pretty filled up in the evening, so it's something that we'll have to keep an eye on to make sure that either somebody doesn't anchor across their anchor, or if they do, we're aware of when they're leaving and when we're leaving. So.
are on the northwest point of Kefalonia. We're going over to this town called Assos, which I believe is right in the saddle between that one lump in the foreground over there and the mainland. So yeah, should be pretty cool place, but these hills, they're just layered upon each other. We're hoping to hike up here and check out this fortress. I guess it's a fortress that goes pretty much all the way around this peninsula and used to enclose a a sizable town. So they don't know a lot about the fortress, like what it, who built it or anything about it. So, it'll be interesting to figure out how they can know something about some fortresses but not others.
Castle walls ringed the entire upper part of the headlands, and we discovered a path, precarious at times, that led us to the top, where an entire city once thrived within these protective walls.
Took some time, but we pointed out that tomorrow isn't here right now, baby. An absent mind came to roam around, captured you in a foggy cloud, baby. Standing on my toes on the edge, I'm ready to go. See it clear when the shadows are lit, I'm ready to go.
At the remains of an old watchtower, we were joined by a collection of sunset worshippers, with the smarter ones in the group having already thought to bring a bottle of wine to toast the end of the day and the beautiful colors out over the Ionian Sea. Sadly, just 2 weeks after we left Assos, hurricane-force winds came through, and with it torrential rains that buried the town in rock-strewn rubble. You'll hear a lot more about this Medicane in upcoming videos. In the meantime, we hope you've enjoyed this exploration of Kefalonia. As always, we appreciate reading your comments, and if you liked the video, please be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our Life 4.0 channel. Fair winds!
Bumps in the road, many obstacles, but when we fall, we get up and go, baby. The way they think is paradoxical. Captured you in a foggy cloud, baby. Standing on my toes on the edge, I'm ready to go. See it clear when the shadows are lit,